Okay, so we're going to do slope from 2 points on a line today. I know that some of us have been struggling with it, so I want to go over it again. So we should have these two different points on here. I've got -1, 8, and -2, -3. So we first need to label our points to make sure that we've got the right ones for our formula. So the first one's always x, and the second one's always, y. First one is x, second one is y. So we can use this in the formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now what we need to do is just substitute the ones in from our points that match the corresponding ordered pair. So the first one's y2. So if I look up here, y2 is -3 minus y1, which is -8. Then I can do x2, which is -2, minus x1, which is -1. So at this point, I just have to either put this into a calculator or I need to work it out. Some of you I know can't have a calculator in class, so that's okay. The big thing we need to remember is if we see two negatives next to each other, technically we're multiplying. There's our little parentheses for multiplying. A negative times a negative gives me a positive. So I can change that into an addition sign. Same signs add, different signs subtract. The signs are different, so I'm going to subtract. 8 minus 3 gives me 5. And then I'm going to keep the sign of the bigger number, and the bigger number was 8. So this is going to be a positive 5, or just 5. Same thing on the bottom. Same signs add, different signs subtract. Different signs, so I'm going to subtract. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then keep the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number was negative, so I'm going to make it negative. We can reduce this by saying 5 divided by 1 is 5, and it's going to stay negative because a positive divided by a negative gives me a negative. So there's one example. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one out on your own. And I'm going to work it out now. Okay, so I'm going to use that same formula. So I'll go ahead and start labeling. I think I did my y's in blue. There we go. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So now I just have to pop in the numbers that match. y2 was -6 minus y1 was 3, x2 -1 minus x1 was +4. Okay, and then we just work this out. Same signs add, different signs subtract. Well, technically the signs are the same because this is a -6 and this is minus or -3. So 6 plus 3 gives me 9, and everything was negative. Same signs add, different signs subtract. The signs are technically the same because we have -1 and minus or -4. 1 plus 4 is 5, and they're all negative. And then we can simplify this a little bit and say negative divided by a negative gives me a positive. So there is my slope.